We go over the curb to correct sides of it, but we have a massive snap and our car doesn't turn, but there's contact between us and Sainz. Yo, what is good guys, and welcome back to our F1 Ultra Career Mode. Today we're here for round number 8 of the season, and here we are, Paul Ricard. Last time out in Canada, we had a very good result where we finished on the podium. It was an excellent result for the team and massively boosted the team's position and constructors and standings. But looking at the R&D chart, unfortunately, we have dropped even further back from the midfield, which is really not going to help me, to be fair, because like Alpha may have just been struggling for upgrades. I've tried to bring in major upgrades, but they're not really helping, to be fair, because the major upgrades take forever to like be applied to the car. So this isn't really going to help. And our edge is looking really warm. I don't want to take a grid penalty immediately for the gearbox, because if I do, then we would start pretty low. Anyways, championship standings, Lewis Hamilton is still leading the championship, just a couple of points ahead of Leclerc. Well, we're now in the top 10 in the standings after getting that podium, which contributes to like 95% of our points that season, and Kimi just a few positions behind us with 12 points. And yeah, to be completely honest, the midfield has been getting close, to be fair, because of the R&D chart. Every car's now fighting for points, to be fair. And the constructors, we're now P6, just 1 point ahead of Renault and 7 ahead of Haas. Or 6, I mean, ahead of Haas. We're still a long way back from McLaren, with us being 8 points behind, but I don't think we're going to be able to get them because they have a much better car. So yeah, we're going to head into qualifying now and try and do a good lap.
The circuit is rubbing in with practice, but this is still a difficult session as our drivers fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying for the French Grand Prix. So, Anthony, here we are with another exciting qualifying session ahead of us. Tell me, what are you hoping to see today?
Well, Crofty, it's always at the back of my mind that I'd love to see the lap record broken. But even without that, I'm hoping to see some fantastic edge-of-your-seat driving today. With the conditions as they are, I'm sure we'll see some very fast laps as the drivers push themselves to squeeze out every millisecond that they can.
I mean, no offense, but I don't think anyone's going to be breaking the track record anytime soon except the Mercedes. Yeah, Paul Ricard I'm not really sure about, because last time out we didn't really have the pace, and I think it was mainly due to straight line speed as we're going to absolutely push through the first corner. And yeah, to be honest, I don't think we're going to have much pace here. It's not that the car is terrible, I mean, it's not the worst car I've ever driven, but to be fair, the aero on this car is really not great. This is because, look at the R&D chart, the aero was like the second worst on this car, so I think the Alfa Romeo is probably going to really badly struggle, even though we're only 2 times off the first sector, which is pretty good, to be fair. And yeah, going here through the long straight, this track is just mainly straight, so it's not really a hard track, to be fair. I could just, like, yeah, just go very fast. And yeah, hopefully I'm trying to get out of Q2, because I really want to take this team higher than PA and the constructors, because I don't think they really like the PA. After they had a really good cars. Unfortunately, however, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, I had a massive snap, and yeah, we've lost like 2 seconds now, so this lap is practically become useless anyways. Yeah, we're now 2 seconds down, so yeah, practically we would have qualified last if we did this lap. So yeah, I eventually had to run another lap just to see if I can improve. And I was thinking to myself that we were like 1 second up, so maybe we could actually get a decent lap. However, this lap was not really that great, to be fair, as yeah, rounding out the final corner, with 5 minutes left of the session, I could actually do another lap in the third lap. This lap, however, would only bring us P17. So like I said earlier, we're doing another lap. Yeah, well, to be fair, I'm hoping we can actually get into Q2, to be fair, because I don't want another Q1 elimination. Okay, because I've had like so many Q1 eliminations that it's really starting to get on my nerves. But to be fair, the car is shit. I can't help myself, to be fair. As yeah, we're already 2 times up heading into the final corner, and I have a feeling that we could actually get into qualifying, even though we're all 9 times down. I don't know how I exceeded track limits when I didn't even go off the track. That is extremely weird, to be fair. We're going to absolutely push a bit more through these final cell corners, because this was really where I was losing the time, to be fair. As we're actually gaining some time. We're now up by 4/10 now, and this corner I always hate on Paul Ricard. I just hate it. It's every time I do it, I just lose time no matter what I do. But we did a lot better this time. And it looks like Kimi's unfortunately going to be out also, because he's in P16 at the moment. But let's see what we can do. Round out the final corner, which wasn't that great, to be fair, but it is a lot better, as now we're almost 6 times up, almost 7, and yeah, we're going to be heading on to the finish line, and we're still P17. Are you actually kidding me? Okay, so we had a good race. We had a good race last time on Canada. Now we're having a shit one. Oh well, this is absolutely incredible. So yeah, Ferrari seem pretty quick though at this track though, because they're quicker than the Mercedes and the Red Bulls. And looking at qualifying, it is Kvyat, myself, Raikkonen, and both Williams out. So yeah, I guess we do not have the pace at the track. So let's head into the race, I suppose.
Welcome to Le Castellet as we return from across the Atlantic for the 2019 French Grand Prix. re-introduced last year after an absence of almost 3 decades. The circuit, Paul Ricard, where racing legends such as Alain Prost gave us some Turn 1 excitement before Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel and a commanding victory from Lewis Hamilton gave us a brilliant race last year. What, I wonder, will it have in store for us this season? We have 15 corners here at the circuit Paul Ricard, 6 to the left and 9 to the right. The rain is coming down and making for a slippery racing surface, but luckily there is plenty of runoff available, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid bringing out a safety car during today's Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Albon, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Hülkenberg and Sergio Perez, Gasly, Grosjean, Carlos Sainz and Stroll, Norris, Kvyat, Lucky and Kimi Raikkonen. Kubica and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So yeah, Vettel seems to have taken pole position and Aston from him, and it looks like everyone's going to be starting on a wet tyre, as it is going to be rainy here at Paul Ricard. I am not looking forward to this, as it could be very chaotic. As looking at the weather thing, it says it's going to be very heavy rain, and then it's going to dry up towards the end. So this will be an interesting outcome. Anyways, we're going to get on with the race now. The pilots are going to be going out for the French Grand Prix right about... now, when it's lights out, and away we go for the French GP. I don't think we've had a great start, but Kvyat also hasn't had a great start. Never mind, he seems to be getting away a lot better than us. And hopefully we don't ram into anyone at the first corner. I think it's 3 wide in front of me, which is going to be pretty interesting, as we're going to go around the outside of Kvyat, and yeah, it's really chaotic here. And it seems like the Kvyat's going to try and get past us, but Lance Stroll's actually been sent round. I don't know if he hit someone, but his car just got sent 90 degrees, and now he's going to be at the back of the grid, so that's not going to help. Sainz and Norris are both ahead of us. The McLaren, for some reason, have not been having very good races because they've been having poor qualifying. But we're all going to send down the side of Sainz, and I'm not sure if I saw damage on Sainz's end play, but we're now up to P14, so we've had a pretty good start. We've gained 3 positions as the car is really sliding, and yeah, it seems like that Vettel's holding the lead at the front. But it does seem like they were all going to be getting gapped here. Sainz is going to think try and get past us. As I see his proximity arrows getting closer and closer. We're going to brake early here, but Sainz is going to try and go around the inside of us. But we get pushed a little bit wide, unfortunately. We go over the curb to try and get Sainz a bit, but we have a massive snap, and our car doesn't turn. But there's contact between us and Sainz. So now we have severe damage, and Sainz, I think, also has damage. As yeah, we got a collision with Sainz, so that's not going to help us. And now we've lost a lot of time to the guys ahead, and I honestly cannot turn this car because the damage is really not helping us, to be fair. But Sainz seems to be dropping back. I think his damage may have actually affected him, as Raikkonen's now got past him also. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting, to be fair. Okay, well, this race has started pretty badly, to be fair. Yeah, as you can see, I cannot literally turn the car with the wing damage. Sainz is probably struggling also, so this is not going to help us. And it seems like we have dropped back from the entire midfield, which is a bit of a problem here. I'm trying my best to turn the car, but I just cannot turn him. This is actually really going to be difficult for us to try and keep it on track. But it seems like the Vettel still has the lead, and both Mercedes are just right behind him. And there's a bit of a battle going on between the Red Bulls, as one of the Red Bulls is fighting, I think, Magnussen or something. As yeah, we are unfortunately just outside the slipstream of Norris, so this isn't really going to help us, to be fair. But surprisingly enough, we actually end up saying a purple sector too, and I have no idea how, even though we're significantly slow. We've actually gapped Raikkonen, as you can see on the minimap, and we've kind of closed in on the guys ahead, but honestly the damage is not really helping us, to be fair. As, yeah, Sebastian Vettel is still leading out of both Mercedes, as Leclerc has dropped back a little bit, and as you can see, Sainz had to come into the pits because of his wing damage. So yeah, he's really going to be further back, as we actually had an invalid lap time, so okay, because we ended up cutting the corner. We've actually got Raikkonen though, so... Wait, bro, I just said that. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. So yeah, looking overall, the midfield seems pretty close to it there, as the points are only a couple of positions ahead. Okay, so as Jeff said, we have to be careful with the energy. So as you can see here, our energy is, our ERS thing is like limited. Basically, we can't use 100% because of the energy store thing being like extremely worn out, so that's not going to help us, to be fair. So unfortunately our first sector isn't good, and Raikkonen is actually right behind us, you know. I can see his proximity arrow barely, but yeah, it doesn't seem like there is really much happening, as it looks like one of the Mercedes, I don't know which one is actually taking the lead. I think it might be Valtteri Bottas, who is taking the lead off Sebastian Vettel. But they're both fine at the front, so that's awesome, I suppose. And to be fair, with Alfa Romeo in second was cool. I'm surprised we're even running P14, to be fair, because I was expecting to run a lot lower. I mean, last time out in Canada, we had a pretty good race, but this isn't going to convert into a race pace. As I don't know why I paused the menu here. I think I'd have to do something. So yeah, as I was saying, basically, I don't know if we're going to have any good races like Canada, where we finished P2, like 95% of our points came from that race. I don't want that just to be our highlight of the season. I want to keep scoring points, because if I just don't score any points like till the end of the season, then we'll probably finish like P18 in the standings. Probably just ahead of both Williams even. And yeah, to be fair, Kimi, I'm actually beating Kimi technically. I've beaten Kimi in some races, to be fair, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that. As Kimi, to be fair, has had a pretty good start to the season, but he seems to be dropping less and less, because I don't know why, he's just not been able to score any points. The last time I think he scored points was, I don't remember, I think it was either Monaco or... No, I don't think he scored points in Monaco, actually. I think it was like a different track. I don't honestly remember at this point. But I can look back in the previous episodes just to see. As you can see, we're all really losing time to the guys ahead. Raikkonen's sitting decently close, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the pace for any higher than P14, because I honestly can't even do the first corner. Like, that is actually pretty concerning, to be fair. Eventually, later on in the lap, I decided to just let Kimi pass, because I was honestly slower than him at this point. I was hoping he could actually give me a slipstream, as we now had a bit of a gap to Kvyat behind. Both Williams were then also had a huge gap, and then it was Stroll, who was slowly catching up to them. And considering he got small lap points, yeah, I'm honestly really struggling, to be fair. It's only lap 4, but I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stick with Raikkonen at this point, because Kvyat seems quicker than me also, but we're actually closing in on him by a huge margin because of the ERS deficit. And I honestly can't even turn. I mean, the car isn't that bad, to be fair. It's probably the main problem that the car has is the aerodynamics, as on the aerodynamics, overall the car is overall the second worst on aero, which means we're basically like in straight line speed, as I'm also struggling to stick with Kimi at this point. I was thinking about boxing, because there was obviously nothing I could do at this point. And yeah, honestly, if I just stayed out at this point till the first stops, I would probably even be behind the Williams, because I just was that slow, to be fair. Which is unfortunate. It was really unfortunate we had a lap 1 crash with Sainz, because that's practically ruined our race already. I mean, I could pit and try and recover, but yeah, as you can see, I cannot turn whatsoever. And we've broken the meter board thing, as yep, Raikkonen has already gapped us by almost a second, so this is really concerning. Yeah, so I decided to do the box this lap, and I think I'm actually going to pit for a new front wing, because I honestly cannot drive this car anymore. And it's such a shame that this has happened to us, like, just after the good race we had in, Canada. Like, we had a good race in Canada, and now we're just going to be sitting at the back, I suppose. So yeah, we also have to serve a penalty, apparently. I don't know why. It says we have a penalty, but I don't even think we even got a penalty. I think we probably... yeah, I have no idea what this even is, because I swear I did not get a corner cut in the last couple of laps. So yeah, we're all going to be serving a 5-second time penalty, because we probably had for a corner cut or something, I'm not sure. So yeah, we're going to be replacing the front wing, and we're probably going to come out last. Sainz is just going to breeze past us, because, yeah, he pitted early for the lap 1 damage he had when he collided with me. Oh well, so this is awesome. But I also noticed that Gasly actually pitted for the intermediate tire. Now, I don't know if the track is actually starting to dry up or not, because I may have not done a stupid decision. I could have gone on the intermediate, actually, but my race engineer didn't even say to go on the intermediate, which is a bit weird. So I don't know if I just fumbled, because if Gasly's on the intermediate and he apparently starts to be quicker, then there's a good chance that he could eventually start catching up to the guys ahead. I mean, Jeff hasn't said anything about the pit window, and to be fair, I feel fine on the wet tires still, but I can see the track is kind of starting to become more intermediate conditions, as the rain doesn't seem that heavy. And, yeah, to be fair, well, I don't think we may have just fumbled, to be fair, because if the intermediates are actually quick, then that is a problem. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, I cannot drive, to be fair. Oh, well.
It's hard to say if inters or wets are better right now.
So, yeah, Jeff said that the weather's actually getting better, so it is starting to dry up, which means there will be intermediate conditions soon. But look at the minimap, actually. I think a lot of people have actually pitted, you know. So, yeah, intermediate I think was the right tire. So, because we've now done a necessary extra pit stop, this has practically ruined our race. So, yeah, Kimi's going to be in the pits also. Yeah, I can honestly not drive when it's wet tire, so I'm going to have to box for a set of intermediates. But this has paid off for Gasly also, because he's probably going to get a huge undercut on some of the people now. because the intermediate is the right tire to actually be on. So yeah, unfortunately, we should have actually stayed out, I think, an extra lap, to be fair. But if we didn't box, we would have probably not been last by any margin. But now we're gonna be last by a huge margin, and because we're gonna have to double stack due to Kimi pitting, yeah, this is practically ruined our race. As oh my god, bro, what is this? I don't get why, but our car's pretty much live. I don't know why I went very slow into pit lane. So we are actually gonna box now for a set of intermediate tires now, because the track has dried up. Oh well, this race gets any worse. But looking at the track thing, it does seem like that a couple of drivers have lost out, and it's because their teammates have to double stack. So yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a slow start because the pit crew weren't ready for me, and because they just got right into the pace. But we are gonna be rejoining last again. I don't know if we're gonna even have pace, to be fair, because the Alfa Romeo is not really a great car, to be fair. We are very slow by the looks of it, so this is a bit concerning. So yeah, we're gonna come out in P20. There's a huge gap to Sainz, but then there's an even bigger one to Stroll. So I don't know if we can even catch up to the Williams, because they seem quite far. However, it does seem like later on in the race, it was actually a virtual safety car. I know we actually had a retirement, and it was because Kvyat actually had an engine problem. Now, I don't know why it was a virtual safety car, but because it doesn't really seem like Kvyat actually had some sort of issue, to be fair. So that's a bit weird. So yeah, now we're up to P19. No, what I'm saying for the virtual safety car is basically that it's weird that how there's a virtual safety car, because Kvyat wasn't parked at a dangerous location. Like, there hadn't been any crash, but then I think I checked the minimap and I actually noticed that one of the hassles was slow. So I'm guessing what happened, as I couldn't see in the replay after the race, I'm guessing that Grosjean or something ended up rear-ending Kvyat when he was retiring. Because by the looks of it, if you see on the minimap, there's actually a, like, beige colour dot in the pit or something. I don't know what colour the Haskell even is on this thing, but well. So yeah, as you can see, Grosjean's actually in the pits, and I'm guessing he got wing damage from shunting into Kvyat. So we are going to gain another position. I'm not sure though, because he seems quite far, so I don't know if we're even going to catch up.
But it's going to take a while to clear the standing water off the line. Don't start thinking about slicks just yet.
So yeah, the track is still drying up technically, so it could be going to slicks later on, but I'm looking at the clouds. It does seem like the clouds are starting to become more natural, and the rain's easing off a bit more. So there is a chance that we could actually have slicks. Now, I'm not too sure how fast this is going to come, as yeah, Grosjean's actually right behind us now. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hold him off, because he's on fresh intermediates. Also, my intermediates are kind of starting to get old, even though it's only been like 5 laps, but I don't really have good pace. But overall, it seems like the gap to Sainz has been increasing, but the gap behind the wait, no, hold on, let me rephrase it. So basically, the gap to Sainz is increasing, but the gap to Kubica, who's in front of Sainz, is actually decreasing by a huge margin. This is probably because the Williams is very much slower. But look at the R&D chart, Williams has been actually catching up. So this could be a little bit of concern for us, because if Kubica, or I mean, wait, what am I saying, bro? I have no idea what I'm saying at this point. So if the Williams like end up developing the car a lot more, then they'll end up becoming more quicker than us, which will be a problem. So yeah, looking at the minimap thing, Kimi is in 11th right now. He's just out of the points, so he could get points, you know, which would be really helpful for the team. But the Alfa Romeo, he just seems to be losing time, to be fair to guys in front, so it's not really crazy. Anyways, look at the minimap. It looks like the water hasses. I think Magnus is in P5. I mean, Magnussen is in P5 because Grosjean is behind me. But yeah, Magnussen's in a great result for Haas. Toro Rosso could get some good points also, because Kvyat, or Gasly, I mean, is in P6 or something. And he's doing a great job holding up the Red Bull, even though I think he's just been overtaken by all the Red Bulls. So yeah, he's down to P7 now. So yeah, I don't know what to do at this point, because Grosjean is practically catching up to me. He seems rather quick, as you can see, he's right behind me. So I might either let him go, or use him as super steam, or I'll probably just like try and stay ahead of him. But yeah, as you see, the gap to Sainz was 13 seconds or something when we pitted, but now it's just 15 seconds, so we've just been losing time. But Kubica's right in front of Sainz, so if he could hold up Sainz, and if they stop battling or something, which I don't think is going to happen, because Sainz will probably just overtake Kvyat. Or Kubica, I mean, my bad.
tyres are 1 lap old. We think they've got 1 more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 59.9.
To be fair, I thought that Grosjean had like way more pace than me, so I decided to eventually let him pass the club last later. As you can see, the clouds have decreased a lot. So basically what this means is the track has significantly dried up, and it's going to be soon time for 6, but eventually Grosjean for some reason is struggling to overtake me, and I have no idea why. So yeah, I eventually slowed down a little bit, and I'm just going to use him as slipstream so I can actually not lose time. But to be completely honest, due to me having like literally no pace, I was literally struggling to do so. Like Grosjean was literally gapping me, and I have no idea why, to be fair. But as you can see, the track actually seems pretty dry, and you can see that a lot of people are pitting. So yeah, it is going to be time for slick tires now. Now, I don't know if I was sure whether to do a one-stop, so basically go on a sort of medium to hard and go to the end, or go with the softs like my engineer recommended. But because the tire I know is kind of high here, Paul Ricard, I knew I had to make another pit stop, because there's no way soft tires can do 10 laps via Paul Ricard. But yeah, eventually I decided I was going to come in for the mediums, and as you can see, yeah, DRS enabled. So yeah, it is practically time to pit, and oh my god, bro. I should not be clipping, like, me adding the, I should probably cut out the things with, when it, like, posts the menu or whatever. So yeah, we're gonna come into the pits, and here we are. Now, unfortunately, we are gonna lose time, because we have to double stack, of course. And this is really not gonna help us, to be fair, so I guess we'll just go on a soft tire, I suppose, and hopefully we can try and at least not finish last, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to. So yeah, we are going to just come into the pits now. Our engineers are not ready, obviously, because they have to take Kimmy in. But we are going to put on a soft tire now. And, okay, that was a bit of a poor pit exit, but we're going to come out in last. And the gap to Kubica, I think, has shrunk because, yeah, because Kubica is just slow overall. I think the gap is overall shrunk, because, yeah, overall I'm having a bit of a slide, to be fair. But I think we do have the pace to actually catch up to the guys ahead. And I actually started to have a little bit of hope, because after we pit, we actually ended up staying at purple sector 2. Now, I did realize eventually that this was probably due to the track drying very quickly, to be fair. And yeah, we were overall still probably not on the pace to catch up to anyone. I mean, the Williams are probably slower than us, because they always have a worse car, but I don't think this is really going to make a difference. And we'll probably get finished last, because we also have a couple track limit penalties, so this is not going to help us, to be fair. Well, I mean, the first race we did a poor record, we ended up getting dropped, but in all fairness, we did, to be fair, have a high DNF percentage, so that's probably the reason the team dropped us, as Carlos Sainz actually retired. So after he had a terrible start, as he crashed into me and got wing damage, he's not going to retire. I mean, I think it was only like P15 or something, so there wasn't really anything he could do, to be fair. So we are going to be up to P18 now, but we're still last, so looking at the pace, we are, I think, overall catch up to Kubica, and yeah, Grosjean's just getting away, to be fair. I don't think there's anything we can do to catch up to him. Even with the penalties, we'll probably have finish last. So I don't really think there's much we can do, to be fair. As we get another warning, I am actually getting so angry about these warnings, to be fair. I mean, sometimes it feels like I'm not cutting the track at all, but then the game says, oh, you cut the track. Here's a 3-second penalty. Like, honestly, I'm not saying the game's broken or anything, to be fair. This is just bad because I keep going to chicanes too much of this track. But not gonna lie, that was gonna be pissing me off, to be fair. So yeah, overall, by looks of it, we're not really catching up to anyone at the moment, and this seems like it's Ferrari 1-2 right now, because both Ferraris have huge gaps, actually, across the rest of the field, which will really help them in the constructors, as they are fighting with Mercedes. And yeah, we're going to come into the pace, because the soft tires, as I said earlier, we're not going to make it till the end of the race. I could have actually gotten the hards, though, and probably went to the end and gained a couple of positions, but I don't think it was worth it, to be fair. So yeah, I am actually going to be pitting now, and looking at the entire grid, it does seem like Grosjean and Kubica have actually stayed out. Russell's come in, as well as myself, but we are going to be slow, of course, because we are double stacking again. I don't get why my pit crew is never ready for me. When Racken's like 30 seconds ahead, I'm like, oh, they must be ready for me then. Well, I guess that's how the game works, I suppose. So yeah, we're going to be in last again. As long as we get an undercut, I think we sure will be fine, but it seems like the game does actually want me to finish in last, as this ended up happening. So as you guys can see here, I'm just making my way down the straight and it's lap 23, but for some absolute reason, as you can see, I thought I was about to brake. I literally ended up forgetting to brake, so I paused the menu. I'm like, what am I doing? So I tried pausing, eventually slowing down, thinking, oh, I'm not gonna get a penalty, and I still get a penalty. So yeah, because I was actually frustrated with how this race has actually gone, I decided to just full-on retire from the race. So yeah, I guess the race is over, I suppose.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Anthony Davidson How do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. Charles Leclerc assumes the lead in the standings after today's outstanding result. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So yeah, this race did not really go well, but Ferrari did take a 1-2 whilst we end up DNFing, unfortunately. Besides, the Kimi also failed to finish after Kimi had an engine failure and Sainz just gave up for some reason. I have no idea what happened to him, if he had an engine failure or something. But Kimi does finish P13, and yeah, there isn't really much change in the standings, to be fair. So we are probably going to end this episode here, and I'll see you all next time. So, goodbye.